Right, now we're going to do some balancing. So finding a focal point, usually on the floor, a few inches in front of you. To start, you might want to watch me, but once you're ready, then you'll find that point. So find it now, just with your mind, just take a look down. That's where my focal point's going to be, and then you can watch me for a second. So let's start with hands on hips again. Shift your weight to 1 foot. And again, find mountain pose, so grounding, that sesame seed presses down, but now we're going to do this on one leg. If you need that chair, this is the time to use it. So, and don't be, I don't know, feeling like you're less than because you might need a support. We all need support sometimes. I need support. We all need it. So take it. It's there for you. Placing your hands on your hips, we're going to lift 1 foot up along with the opposite arm. Remember all that brain hemispheric integration stuff I've talked about before? We're going to practice it here. So find your focal point. As you inhale, you'll lift together, and then exhale, you'll lower together. And again, if you need a chair, just put your hand on that chair. You'll inhale. Maybe the count of 4 works for you. Maybe the count of 6 works for you. If not, shorten it. Maybe it's 3-4, maybe it's 3-5. And exhale. Trying to link the opposite arm and opposite foot, and also trying to feel these sensations of that leg that's grounding down, also feeling light and lifted. So it's grounding down so that you can lift your other limbs off the ground. Now on your 3rd time, stay here. My invitation is that you bring both arms up. Again, if that overhead's not working, cactus pose. Wherever you are, reaching up. Oh, I could cheat here. I've got a little ceiling part. I won't do that. I won't do that. And then if you like, you could start to open this up. Maybe you find your calf. Maybe you could bring your foot all the way up. Whatever you want to do here, you could come into a tree pose. If that doesn't work, then you can come back to the knee being lifted and in front of you. And if you're really wobbly and you don't have that chair, just bring that foot maybe on top of the standing leg foot, or it could come down. So my invitation is just to play here with feeling yourself getting really strong in that standing leg as your other limbs are free. And you might wobble, you might move a little bit. The tree's outside right now, I can see them moving around. So find your tree, breathe here. And then when you're ready, if your leg was open, bring it center and lower everything down. Now, before we switch to the other side, what do you notice in that standing leg? What sensations are coming up for you right now? Do you want to go to the next side, or do you want to kind of shake that leg, give it a little love, maybe love taps? What do you feel like doing? It's up to you. This is your practice, so listen to your body. When you're ready, if you had a chair, maybe you need to move the chair, or maybe you need to move your body. You can start with your hands on your hips, looking down at your feet again, and finding your focal point. And to begin, make sure you switch. So placing your weight in the opposite leg now. And when you're ready, you'll inhale, lift together like you're a marionette, and then lowering down. If you want to add the breath awareness, lifting maybe for 3 or 4 counts, and exhaling maybe for 5 or 6 counts. And this time, maybe when you inhale for 4 counts, you pause for 1, and then exhale for 5 or 6. This time when you lift, pause, continue breathing here, and then if you like, you can extend the other arm up top, or bring those arms out into the cactus arms. If you like, you could try opening up your hip. This takes a lot of hip rotation, so if that's not available to you, just stay here. We're continuing to breathe. We're continuing to feel our connection with the earth. Also notice if the shoulders wanted to creep up. Can we invite the shoulders to come back and support our back body? And then again, if this is too much wobbling, you didn't bring the chair over, oh no, what am I gonna do? Maybe you fall out. Okay, that's fine. Find your focus, Try it again. Maybe you wanted to place that foot here. Just make sure that the hip doesn't do some funky, like tilting out thing like that. So root through that standing leg. That's your tree trunk at this point. So if you're bringing that foot off the ground, we don't want to sink into it. It messes with your balance and it messes with your structure of your body. So use the structure of your body to support you. When you've had enough fun, bring that foot in front and then exhale everything down. Go inside. What sensations do you notice? And then, if you want, you can give yourself a little shake and a little love taps. Shake it out. Maybe you need to do some rebounding again here. Maybe you need to move your hips around. Roll your shoulders up and around. From here, step your feet wide. So 3, 4, depending on your height, just take up as much space as you want. So you're still gonna press into your feet. So we've still got sesame seeds. We're pressing those things down into the floor. We're connecting with the ground beneath us. Bend your knees, and now re-extend your legs and lift up through your inner thighs. From here, extend your arms out. Take up as much space as you can. Get as wide and expansive as you can. You can turn your thumb towards the back wall. Notice what that does across your chest. Notice if your shoulder blades want to creep up. Can we use the shoulder blades behind us to support us and feel that support? Connect with the wall behind you. So the room that you're in is supporting you. Can you connect with the room that you're in this moment? Maybe there's someone in your life that you want to connect with. Imagine that they're behind you, they're supporting you. Maybe there's someone from your past. Maybe it's a mentor, or maybe it's a great grandma. Whoever that is for you, just in your mind's eye, feel that they are there, they are supporting you, so that in your front body you can soften, you can receive. It's possible when we know that we are entitled to take up space. And breathe. And just notice how that feels, to be as big and spacious as your body will allow you to be. And then extend those fingers to the 2 walls and just imagine you can touch those walls. Take up as much space as you can. Do you feel your power right now? Connect with that for a moment. And you're getting tired like I am, release your hands and then bend your knees, and we'll bring our legs together a little bit, but not all the way together. And we'll do some twists here, so we're gonna rotate from side to side, and then let your hands kind of be loose, and then they can kind of give some love taps. So I'm picking up my back heel. I don't know if you can see that, but if you like that, you can try that. If that's too much of a twist for you and you want to keep your heels down, no problem. And with your gaze, notice, does it want to track as you move, or do you want to keep your gaze forward? Notice the difference. Try it both ways. See what happens. And our arms are kind of loose right now. We're just kind of shaking things out after holding them steady. But now I want to start crisscrossing. So every time I'm going to crisscross my arm to my opposite chest or opposite shoulder, and my back arm is going to go across my hip. So I'm giving some attention and some love to the kidneys in my back, and then my heart up top. And then on this next one, pause. I'm going to invite you to just stay here for a moment in this twist. Notice where your eyes landed and let them land. Notice what's happening with that opposite outside leg. Do you still connect with the outside of that heel? You're still pressing down. And as you press in the outside of that opposite heel, notice what that does across your chest. You now have more space because that's grounding you. Now you can open up. You can twist. It doesn't have to be a deep twist. We're just noticing. We're giving awareness to the sensation that's there. And when you're ready, switch to the other side. So again, the hand is on the outside. because we can start to feel, even through our shirt, maybe feel your skin. Notice how your skin is starting to open up. If it's too much, you back off. If you want more, make sure that you're grounding that opposite leg, even through your hips. So press the foot down and notice how much support you have so that when you want to twist, it's available. Notice if the eyes have landed or were they darting all around. Can you find one place? Feel your breath. And when you're ready, release slowly, come back to center. And bring your feet a little bit closer underneath you. Now, we're gonna get into a chair pose. So some people like to have their feet and their legs together. Some people like to have a little space between their feet. Some people like to use like a yoga block or a big, thick book. You could place that between your legs here. So find an option that you want to work with today, and it doesn't have to be what you did last week or next week, but what you feel like doing in this moment today. So I'm gonna have a little bit of space between my feet today. I don't always do it that way, but that's what I'm thinking today. So we're gonna start to rock forward and back. And you can do this whether you decided to hit pause and go get a yoga block or a book or something. You can still do this. So don't worry, we're all together here. So we're rocking between the balls and the heels of the feet, and I'm just adding a little bit of arm movement to go with this. So when you feel like you need some rocking for self-regulation, you don't even need a swing. Here you go, you're just rocking. So we're warming up our ankles and our knees and our hips before we hold a chair pose. So coming into chair pose when you're ready, so you'll come in like there's a chair behind you and you're almost gonna sit, but you don't sit. And then with the arms, you can bring them into those cactus position, or you could extend them up to any amount. Maybe they lift all the way. I want you to hold this pose wherever your arms have you. I want you to hold the pose. Make sure that the knees are not tracking over top of the toes. So if they were, bring them back. And really feel what's happening in your lower body. If there's any pressure in your spine, I want you to bring your arms into cactus and back off a little bit. But from here, if you're okay, I want you to hold this pose. Don't hold your breath, keep breathing. We're gonna come up, and I want you to focus on your legs. So use your legs, press your legs, as much as you can. Press your legs to lift you up. See how that feels. And lower your arms down by your sides. All right, what do you feel in your legs right now? A lot of strength, right? Ooh. We had to push into those legs to lift ourselves up. Okay, now I'm gonna show you two more options. So you might wanna shake it out. All right, we're gonna do this again. So come into your chair pose when you're ready. So bringing your knees into like a squat position to any degree that feels accessible to you. Lifting your arms up to any degree that feels accessible to you. And from here, I want you to hold the pose and breathe. And you might notice your legs. And this time when we come up, I want you to focus on your arms lifting you up. So feel the outside of your arms, wherever they are. Feel the outside of your arms. Feel the broadness across your chest. And use your arms to lift you up. And lower the arms down. Right now, use some interoceptive awareness. What did you notice differently between the time when we used our legs to hoist ourselves up versus our arms lifting us up? We're gonna try one more. So if you need to, do a little shake, do a little love tap. Find your squat, find your chair pose. Hold the pose as you breathe. And again, going into the sensations. So feeling as you're squatting into this position, what's happening in your tailbone? Hopefully you're not getting too much of a sway back. I know that's really popular and I go into that a lot, so I have to be very cognizant of, pull that tailbone down a little bit. Notice if the chest wants to jet out, that's no good for the back. So what can we do to soften our body but still be so strong? Okay, now from here, I want you to lift up out of this pose, focusing on your wrists. So put your mind's eye right now at your wrists and lift yourself up out of the pose from your wrists and lower your arms down. So, what did you notice? You can name it right now for yourself. You can think, maybe I didn't really notice much different. What is she talking about? So what I'm trying to get across is when we want something, we think we have to grunt, or we have to work really hard, or we have to push, we have to fight, we have to get there, and it's so hard. Sometimes we might just need to back off. Sometimes we might need to realize the strength is already within us. We just needed to extend. We just needed to reach out. Maybe we just needed a support. Maybe we were so close, but we had worked so hard we didn't even see it. So sometimes we pick unconsciously the hardest way to do something, and then we forget that the easiest way was right there all along. So using chair pose just to demonstrate that there are a multitude of ways that we can do something. And so we always have that choice. So sometimes when we get stuck in our thinking that it has to be done this way and it's so hard, and I feel so alone, sometimes if we just reach out, we see, oh, it was so easy. I didn't have to work that hard. Something else was available. So just play with that, and I would love to see your comments if you want to let me know how that worked out for you. Now we're going to work our way onto the floor, so you might want to have a blanket for the next section.